Howdy folks, Jack here with Future Motion, and today I will be telling you everything you need to know about the baddest, littlest, sickest new bike on the block, the Antic. This thing's awesome. Let's learn everything there is to know about it.
I can see riding this every day.
All right, so at a high level, Antic is inspired by the mini bikes of the 1970s. So much fun, super rad. But this is completely reimagined in 2025 modern technology and based on Onewheels. So nothing about this bike is very common. Most of the bikes that you see in the world use a lot of off-the-shelf parts. Almost everything on this bike is designed and made right here in the Future Motion workshop. So we're gonna go through every component step by step. Okay, tail of the tape. 36-inch wheelbase, 25.5-inch seat height, 66 pounds, but she feels a little lighter. I've been working out. The powertrain GT75 bolt tucked away in the floorboard. In-hub GT motor, no chain, no grease, super quiet, tons of torque. The frame, 6061 aircraft grade aluminum, super strong, super light, doesn't rust, and 30% bigger than your standard mini bike. The seat, super plush, super squishy, very comfy. Front headlight, see at nighttime. Inverted hydraulic front forks. It's suspension for when you need it. The tires, GT treaded for front and back with an optional upgrade for performance treaded. They're wide, ride on all terrain, and they just look awesome. Oh, and one more thing. With wide tires and a low center of gravity on a flat surface, the bike actually balances itself. All right, let's talk brakes. So it's got a hydraulic front brake and it's got regenerative braking through the motor in the rear. Now, if you're a cyclist, you're used to having 2 brake levers. This bike only has 1. A little unusual, but the way that we've designed this is pretty clever because there's a lot of ways to customize how the bike brakes. So the first is throttle off braking, which is basically when you take your hand off the throttle or you ratchet back from acceleration, how much regenerative braking comes from this rear motor. And you can customize that in the Antic app, all the way from 0, which is essentially coasting as a normal bicycle would, to 10, which is gonna be the maximum strength of regen braking that happens once you start to take your hand off that throttle or lessen your acceleration on that throttle. The second way that you can customize how your braking acts is through lever braking. So you can actually decide how strong you want the regen to be when you pull this lever. Now, if you turn your regen braking up all the way, if you just softly pull this brake lever, you're gonna feel the back regen brake full strength, and you're barely gonna feel this front hydraulic brake, right? You're not gonna feel that front hydraulic brake until you press the brake lever harder. And in that way, you can really customize, like if you're on loose gravel and you wanna lock up that rear tire and do a little power slide or something, you can actually achieve that by just pulling this lever a little bit and turning your regen braking strength all the way up. So there's a lot of ways you can customize how your braking acts through the Antic app. Pretty clever. All right, let's learn how to ride this thing. So the fastest way to explain how to ride this thing is you press this button. Once you do, you have 10 seconds to use the throttle. All you gotta do is twist the throttle and you go. The reason that is in place is so that if you're sitting on your bike and your friend comes over and just tries to whiskey throttle you into oblivion, that won't happen, right? Throttle is deactivated until you press the button. Hey! That's why that's there. Up next, riding modes, because this is a smart bike, it's not a dumb bike. All right, 4 riding modes, and they kind of do what they say they do. Learning mode, eco mode, sport mode, and ludicrous mode.
Ludicrous speed.
The early modes, less torque, less speed, more range. The higher modes, more torque, more speed, little less range. We like ludicrous.
Ludicrous speed.
But if you put your mom on it, learning mode. You can also change your lever braking strength here, your throttle off regen for your regen brake in the back, and your wheelie angle, all right in the app. The next important thing to look at is what mode you're in. Now, if your lights are blue when you're at a standstill, that means you're in Onewheel mode. Onewheel mode means that Onewheel hub motor right there, it's gonna balance you when you kick up to your wheelie angle. So right now, if I was to do this, I am in Onewheel mode. Okay, the bike is balancing me, the Onewheel is balancing me. Wherever I lean, I go. I can pick my feet up and I'm gonna go wherever I lean. We'll probably do a full video on this because it's worth explaining, but it's a lot of fun. And I'm getting better. When Onewheel Mode is off, you're gonna see a white LED light, and you're now riding a standard bicycle. You can loop this thing out completely. So the Antic will ship with Onewheel Mode as the default. And the cool thing is, in Onewheel Mode, you cannot loop out. So even if you do that same behavior, it's just gonna balance you right there at your wheelie angle, which you can customize in the app. I should probably mention, in order to get out of Onewheel Mode, what do? Well, you can either hit the brake or you can hit the button, either one, and it's gonna set you back down. Okay, so there's 3 different models of Antic bikes, ranging from the base model to your long range plus model. What is the difference? Well, your base model has a range of 12 to 28 miles. It goes 35 miles per hour. The middle model is the long range model. So it's the same exact bike, but it's got almost twice the battery. So that's gonna take you 22 to 50 miles per charge. It's got a top speed of 35 miles an hour as well. Now, on the high end, the long range plus bike is the same long range bike, except for it's got the performance tread tire in the front and the back. Now, the performance tread tire is a little bit more maneuverable, a little carvier, and also adds a little bit of cushion. So that's your full lineup from base model to long range plus. All right, last but not least, my favorite feature, the haptic horn. All right, I'm getting out of here. I'll see you on the streets.